Hello, welcome to Family Movie Night. Where we'll be talking about what we watch for Family Movie Night. My name is Mike, and today we are talking about Shrek, the 2001, I think. Yeah, 2001 classic, I guess, is probably the best way that you could put it. A classic DreamWorks movie about an ogre, a grumpy ogre who just captivated the hearts of everybody around him, I guess. So, a premise of Shrek is a mean lord exiles fairy tale creatures to the swamp of a grumpy ogre who must go on a quest and rescue a princess for the lord in order to get his land back. This stars Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow, Vincent Cassell, I guess, Jim Cummings, just a who's who of a bunch of, you know, VoiceWorks best that we have, and arguably one of DreamWorks' best movies ever, and probably one of the best animated movies of the 21st century. So, Shrek, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle. This is a resounding thumbs up. And the reason why is because Shrek balances some pretty emotional beats with, accepting who you are. Looks, don't judge a book by its cover. Looks don't matter at the end of the day. But also just this whole notion that ogres have layers. That's a great lesson as well. But it also balances a really, really funny movie and also a bit of a middle finger to Disney as well, which I love. I think this really goes after Disney in some pretty incredible ways. So I truly appreciate what DreamWorks, the balls that DreamWorks had in order to get this movie off the ground. I don't think I don't think Mike Myers gets enough credit for what he's done as Shrek. Shrek's gone through a lot of iterations. Once upon a time, Shrek was supposed to be voiced by Chris Farley, and Mike Myers just used his regular voice before he eventually pivoted and tried the pseudo like Irish voice. So I give him a lot of credit for that. And then this is in the era where Eddie Murphy was cashing in on a lot of different family movies, and he's fantastic as Donkey in this. We just rewatched this recently, and the reason why we rewatched it is because Gigi's next production will be Shrek Jr. So we rewatched this recently, and my God, it still holds up. Some of the jokes are still great. The animation is still really strong as well. I give them credit for, the female dragon part. I like that part. I think just everything with Princess Fiona and Lord Farquaad is just really great too. The music's really great in this too. So there's so much about Shrek that is still really, really great and really outstanding. And then, do I have a whole lot that I don't like? Yeah, some of the jokes are a little dated, but that's really about it. Otherwise, for the most part, Shrek is still like a really strong addition to animated, like to just animated film in general. And also in when you're looking for semi-original content, Shrek is pretty high up there in terms of, trying to make something original out of, something that is largely a little bit more on the unknown side. I do get that. I think Shrek was maybe based on something at some point, but for a movie to be only 90 minutes long and to gross over $500 million at the worldwide box office in 2001, I think that's really strong. And then in addition to that, for it to span a franchise with, Shrek 2 is arguably one of the best movie sequels of all time. Shrek the Third was a bit of a stumble, and I don't hate Shrek Forever After. I I don't. I think it's actually not bad. And I'm not gonna lie, we're probably gonna go through each of these one by one over the next couple weeks. But Shrek, still a strong movie, still some valuable lessons. Some of my favorite parts about Shrek, I love the part with the gingerbread man. I think it's one of my favorite parts in any film when he says, "Not the gumdrop buttons." I say that all the time, and if it's one of those things where if you know, you know, and if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you at that point. In addition to that, I do like the chemistry between Shrek and Fiona when you think at first that Fiona is just I don't know, like it just she's just a regular princess and then not an ogre and like she could actually like Shrek for who he is. I think that there's a lot of fun stuff there. The part where they first get to Duloc and you know, they're just they're going through the rules through that song that's like kind of ripping off It's a Small World. I love that part. Mimi laughed so incredibly hard during that part because she was just not expecting it to be as funny as it was. I like the part where Robin Hood stops them in the middle of the woods on their way back, and Fiona just kicks the living crap out of all of them. And just the Robin Hood song that he sings is just sneaky funny and sneaky good. And then the part at the end with "I'm a believer," I do love that part. It's hard for me not to at least get a little choked up for that. The Rufus Wainwright version of "Hallelujah" is really good in this. I'm a sucker for the part where Shrek and Fiona, they're getting really close. It's sunset, and Jason Wade from Lifehouse is singing "You Belong to Me," and that used to be the background of my computer because I thought that part was always so beautiful. And yeah, it still is. So Shrek still a stone cold classic. It's 25 years old. I cannot believe it's 25 years old. And we're allegedly getting a fifth one. So hey, look at that. That's fun. But what do you think of Shrek? What's your favorite part? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Family Movie Night. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our list on Letterbox at MLHilty2452 and follow our list labeled Family Movie Night. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. Check out the other shows on our network. We've got a lot of great content, so please check out the other shows on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew, let us know. Email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.